Yate she ABenally nje ado Selejini ado enasha ado Kilichin shlon halsoy bashichin deschini dashnale ashinhi dashachi good I is sunshle. I'm here in reference to talk to you about Redwater Pond Community Association, which is located 17 miles northeast of Church Rock. And it's a little community that we've been living there. There's a total of when we first started this Redwater Community Association, there was a total of about 15 families that were living there. Because of the contamination and because of kids moving off and going to the bigger cities where there's jobs, they have left home, and I think right now we're down to maybe 6 to 7 families that are still living there. And I grew up there. I grew up in that area, Redwater Pond, since I was like 10 years old. I remember 10 years old. That's when the mines came in, and they started exploratory um, mining or whatever, drilling. Okay, drilling is what they were doing. Then soon after that, the mines came in, and by then I was in my teens, right in my teens, about 17, 18 years old. And after that, we were happy, yes, when the mines came in, because it meant jobs in walking distance, because we were only like a mile away from the mines. But little did we know that it was very dangerous. It could hurt you in health-wise, breathing-wise. And my dad worked there. He was a maintenance man for UNC. And I worked over at McGee. And I was there like for 6 years as a maintenance clerk and electrical clerk. Then later I moved over to a mining clerk. And during that time when I was working there, I was never told that this mining or I was exposed to yellow cake or the slush, the mud that came out from underground. And all I had to do was wear steel toe boots and a hard hat, and that was supposed to protect me. Little I know that it was going to be harmful in later years until we really got into thinking about how dangerous it was, and it finally that was in full bloom in the 70s and the 80s. It finally closed down in 1983. That's when I got laid off. But the cleanup crew were still there, and this was over at McGee. And after that, it was just we all been doing a lot of I guess searching, why the mines never came back and picked up their trash, or we had piles and piles of uranium just down the hill, not even a mile away. And to this day, they still sit there. And EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, has been working with us, telling us they're going to clean it up. But we've been talking about it for the last 20 years. And it's still sitting there. I was 10 years old when these guys came in. I'm 62 years old today. That's how long it's taken us. And I moved out. They relocated me, but I'm still a resident of Redwater Pond, but I reside here in Gallup, and it's not home. Living here in Gallup, I have neighbors an arm length away. I don't know who they are. I don't know what they are, or they don't associate with you. But at Redwater Pond, my neighbor's like a mile away, but I can call him. We could talk, and And as long as I could see my neighbors, that was home for me. And now all you ever go home, you go back out there and there's piles and piles of uranium still sitting there, waste piles, and they're hills, and it hurts because now I feel like I'm living here in Gallup, and I don't see those piles in here. Maybe it's a part of me. Maybe I miss it, but I had to move in regards to my grandkids. I have three of them, and we had livestock, we had cattle, and we tried corn. Our cornfields are we couldn't grow anything anymore because the ground is so hard, and we plant and they would never come up, and it was just the place is just a mess. It's not no harmony there, but it's home. I tell you, it's home. I miss it, and my grandkids miss it because we have hills and mountains all around us, and now they can't go anywhere. We're stuck inside the house, and we only have 1 acre to run around in, and that don't give us exercise. But out there, you had the hills and rocks, and just chase the cattle and stuff like that. And but living with uranium, it seemed to grow on us. That's part of our lives now. But it's not right to live around that land that's been disturbed very badly. Mother Earth has been harmed pretty much all the way to the bottom of our heart. And I wish EPA would come in and clean up, give us our property back, give us our land back. Out there, there's you don't pay property tax. I'm paying property tax now, and that's not the Navajo way because I have a reservation where it was given to the natives, and it's not right for me to be living out here. I'd rather be at home. 2007, that's when we were finally introduced to EPA, Environmental Protection Agency. They finally came in. Before then, we were never aware of who they were or what they were doing or anything. They finally came and made the community aware of EPA, and they were supposed to be protecting us. But we have been working with them, but every time we make suggestions and stuff like that, their answers were always no, it's not. I guess that's when we found out it was a Superfund site. And Superfund site, they say, has got their own rules and regulations that they have to go by. One of the biggest projects that's holding it right now is the waste piles that are sitting at Kerr-McGee and at UNC Mine, now is known as General Electric. They want to move those piles right across Highway 566, which is only a mile from each mine, at least within the mile of each way. And they want to bury all the waste and everything there, but then they have to go through NRC and get approval and everything else. But they just want to move across the street, and that's not right. We wanted it totally off the reservation, totally away from us. But to them, they say no, we can't because it's going to cost a lot to move it off somewhere else to burial site somewhere else for uranium waste. Just last year in 2019 was our 40th anniversary of the UNC tailing spills. Since then we have notified everybody across the global. We have people from Russia, we have people from Mongolians, and we have people from Japan that come around, and and a lot of them, it's very interesting how their culture and how they're living. Some of them live just like us, the Mongolians. live just like us natives, and that they're going through the same thing too. They have minings and they have all this other stuff, that the health issues. And it's very interesting that, you sometimes you think you're the only one that's going through this whole issues and fighting against uranium companies and try to get them to understand. But you know there's other people out there, so it makes it a whole things makes it a lot easier, because we know that there's other people that are in the same situation as we are. And now, and one of these days, we're all going to beat this thing. We're all going to beat, and we're all going to have our lands back to normal. My dad, his name was ABenally, and where we're from, he was a medicine man. And I remember him taking his pouch, his medicine bundle, and he'd be walking out the door, and I ask him, that's like when I was like 10 years old, I said, "Where are you going, Dad?" And he would say, "I'm going to go chase Ghostbusters." It's just different words that he said. But he worked at the mines, and we had 3 medicine men within that same area. I think that's why we're still strong. We're still hanging on to what we have, because we think about where they had done their traditional stuff and all the plants around there. And I think because of them, and they've always told us, take care of the land, take care of the house. Don't ever leave. That's why he used to say, don't run off and leave it. Take care of it. And I think that's where we're all strong, because our families were all medicine men out there. And they loved the place, and that's why I think we're still hanging on and trying to do the right thing for ourselves, for our Mother Earth, for our land, and the air, water. I don't think it's a good idea to have it mined again, because it's just going to harm us all and keep harming everybody. And life is precious to us Native Americans and us the Net people. And especially as a grandmother, a mother, an aunt, a sister, I'm very, very sensitive on issues that harms life, because I love everybody and I want everybody to love each other.